Okay, you start. You start.
Ray, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Eh?
Matthew?
Yeah, you can call me Matt.
Is it Matthew?
It's Matt. Yeah, it's Matthew on my birth certificate, but
It's Matthew now.
my friends call me Matt.
Matthew Mask.
Yeah, Matt Mask.
Yeah.
Only my mother calls me Matthew. Don't ever fucking call me Matthew again.
I started call Tim Talmadge Timothy. He changed his name in Facebook to
Timothy? I'm not changing my name to
Yeah,
Matthew.
you know, in Don Idris, right? Donatello.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
And he's changed his name?
Not yet, but
No, yeah, you're
it's
working
gonna
on
happen.
it. Eh?
Yeah.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah. Devon Laurentissimo, you know. So, we are here in Dubai for King of Table 8.
It's fucking hot, eh?
Yeah, I wanted to ask,
Dude,
like,
I'm telling
you're
you.
Canadian, right?
I'm Canadian. I've probably fucking shed 30 fucking pounds since I've been here. My balls have never been so fucking saturated in my whole fucking life. I'm telling you, bud. I'm telling you, I feel like my balls feel like a tea bag sitting in a fucking hot pot of fucking water.
Does it ever get
True
this
fucking
hot?
story.
Like this hot?
No, it doesn't get this fucking
And you know
hot.
this is
This is
even
bullshit.
And this is not even hot.
They said this is fuck the weather. Sorry, the weather's so shitty. I said, no, make it shittier, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh.
It's what it was, like 36 degrees Celsius. So
At fucking midnight.
You use Celsius, right?
Yeah, at fucking midnight, it's 37 fucking degrees, man.
Yeah.
Like
Humidity. Just
right
go
now,
outside.
It's
Just
fucking 2 degrees at night for us. Right
Yeah.
now. 15 during the day, tolerable.
hang by the AC all the time.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
thinking about a
Did you
desert
went by
tour.
the pool?
We're thinking about a desert tour, and fuck, I was talking to this Indian outside,
Yeah.
and he said, "No, don't fucking do it, man." He says it ain't fucking worth it. So, he said it's cool as fuck, but he says your balls. You think your balls are hot now? He says wait till you're standing in the desert with a fucking hot vehicle around you, right? So
I took but that was in February. I took a tour, so it was with a bus, like hour and a half, and then 2-3 hours in desert. So you'd be dead.
oh,
You need like gallons of water. to
dude, I
survive.
wouldn't even make it to the desert with this fucking heat. Like, I'm telling you, it's fucking insane.
It is. But yeah, that's Dubai. King of Table, as usual. Your opponent, Ron Bat. I saw some videos and I don't know what is the event. You know the score, right? Because you have won some, lost some with him. Who's ahead?
We've never actually, to this date, have actually had a super match fresh on fresh.
Okay.
We've always met in tournaments, we've met in finals where we've had best 2 out of 3 after we've both competed all day long. But this is the first time me and Ron are actually gonna grip hands fresh for fresh, never gripping anybody else's hand earlier that day. So this is our first actual official super match, even though we've stepped across the table from at least each other, I'd say at least 10 to a dozen times.
Okay.
Over the last 7 to 8 years, but never in a super match.
Do you think he's... what are you expecting from Ron?
You got to expect everything from Ron. I've known Ron for so long. I've been watching Ron for 10 fucking years before he even knew I fucking existed. So I expect everything from Ron. I expect his strong fucking hand. I expect his crazy side pressure. I expect lots of back pressure. I expect lots of inside pressure. So it's really, I don't really have one route, one lane that I feel I'm going to take with this guy. Just because Ron is strong everywhere, right? And it almost seems like no matter how fucking old the guy gets, I think he's part vampire or something, right? Because if you look at him now, everyone's like, oh, he looks old. 30 fucking years ago, the guy looked fucking old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like leather face, all wrinkled up. Like I'm telling you, man, I think he's fucking part fucking vampire. So he's been around a long fucking time. Longer than any of us even fucking seem to realize, I think. So
We should test it. We need to find some garlic.
yeah, we'll fucking
some
stand
crosses.
him in front of a mirror. Right? like that's
I'll sit
like
him
that
here.
photo.
I'll sit him here.
That photo that they had from him, I think it was a type of lens that actually shows his true age, right? Because of the photo, the dude's like 195 fucking years old. You know what I mean? But as soon as the photo's gone, he looks the same as he did 40 fucking years ago, right? So I'm thinking it was just an age revealing photo that they took.
So with Ron, do you really think the age is just a number?
For Ron, I think he's kind of proven it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's, and like I was talking about this yesterday during one of my interviews, that I a firm, true believer that if John Brzenk never existed, Ron Bath would be the GOAT. You know what I mean? Because the only person that would ever make to finals against fucking John for 15 fucking years was Ron. And if it wasn't fucking for John Brzenk, I would almost guarantee that fucking Ron Bath would have been known as the fucking GOAT, because he would have won first in every one of them fucking tournaments that he placed second to John. So
that is, there's a lot of truth in that, and I'll talk with Ron. I want to try to get in his mind what he thinks about it. But so keys to victory in this one, what you cannot allow Ron to do.
I gotta keep him away from his shoulder,
so he doesn't get in.
Yeah, I just need to separate him enough from his shoulder so he doesn't get inside and activate his side pressure. I believe that is where my route is probably going to be, or my safest route. My best opportunity to be able to put his arm to the pad is going to be keeping his shoulder away from his arm.
You had a brutal match not so long ago.
Dude, I'm still fucking recovering.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Like, because I'm thinking, where's Kalachenko in that one also? Because he also pulling here, right?
He said the same thing. He's still fucking trying to fucking recover from it. Like, I've been beat up after matches. Yeah. I've dislocated fucking elbows after matches. I've dislocated fingers. I've fucking torn my fucking pec. Yeah. And I've coming back a month and a half later, still able to fucking perform and compete. And this one was, the last fucking month and a half leading up to this, all I've been doing is just recovery work. Lightweight, lot of fucking blood flow. I haven't even tested my strength. I don't know if I'm as strong as I was when I pulled Kalachenko, if I'm stronger than when I pulled Kalachenko. I just know I'm really starting to feel better now. Yeah. Like, everything's not clicking. Like, after our match, I ended up getting inflamed on the caps on my elbows. I went to see my physio. I thought my elbows were dislocated, gave me x-rays, everything was good. But it was literally, I'd sit like this for 15 minutes, and then I'd have to straighten my fucking arm out. I'd be like this for 10 minutes straight. I couldn't straighten my arm past here for about fucking 6-7 days.
Yeah,
and then for about
like,
3 weeks, for about 3 fucking weeks, every time I'd move my elbow, click, 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 crack, crack, crack. Oh. And it's only been about the last week and a half where I can actually move my arm, where it's not clicking anymore. So I've been getting literally nothing but fucking physio appointments, massage appointments. I think I ran my whole fucking benefit package out in the last month and a half after I pulled Kalachenko. That's how much I've been just concentrating on trying to prepare and feel healthy for when I go to pull Ron.
The match, I think, was very physical, as well very emotional, right? Because you came back from already losing 3 rounds, and then you came back winning 3 rounds.
Shit the bed at the end with a fucking stupid fucking move.
I was in London. We were for Armwrestling, so we were watching it live, and I was like, "It's coming back." We're eating dinner, and I'm like, "This is coming back. This is coming. Man's gonna win." And then you're setting up, and I see he's coming for a press, like 100% for a press, and I'm like, "Just get the center away." And he even did it slow, but I think you were just so exhausted that
it wasn't mental. It was completely fucking mental. I could feel exactly what he was gonna do. I could feel how he was gonna set up. And it's something I've been fucking bust my ass on, training, working on that route for a specific move when somebody does go to jump in on side of me. Yeah. And I knew exactly what I needed to do, but something on the side of my head said, "No, don't come forward with that shoulder." It says,
don't meet him in the
top roller.
Yeah, go back.
Use your brachialis. Yeah. For some stupid reason, after 6 fucking matches, I thought I had enough left in my brachialis to be able to hold him, rip through it, kind of come in behind it, and finish it off that way. I should have fucking known, I couldn't have, but it's a real mental thing that I've really been trying to fucking work on. I'm hoping it's not going to affect me on this match. I'm hoping I'm past it now. It's more of a learning curve.
Just because be braver, right?
Yeah, just chicken shit, right? It's in my head that if I come forward, shit's going to blow apart, right? Because I've come forward before in the past. My elbow's dislocated. Everything's tore up. So it's just a mental thing. I know it won't happen anymore, because it would have been literally if I had done the route that I feel I needed to, I probably could have finished it with about 20-25% fucking effort. Just the lane that he was going in and what I've been working on trying to do it. But mentally, my body said, he ain't fucking doing it today.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll see if I can get past that for when I go to pull Ron, if Ron pulls that out. Because I do have a feeling that's where Ron is going to be going in the later rounds. He's going to be really letting his wrist compromised, getting his shoulder in behind.
He will be very similar to what Kalachenko did. I think
At
same
the end,
strengths and
towards the end, he's going to be ripping back. He's going to be trying to suck me into a hook. I feel once I've compromised his wrist enough, which I feel I'm going to be able to do, them later rounds, he's gonna allow his wrist to be compromised just to be able to get his shoulder in behind his arm, right? Yeah. And that's how Ron has beaten me almost every other time we've pulled in the past. I was able to take his hand, but I didn't get his arm past his shoulder. His shoulder was locked in behind his arm, and down I went, right? So
I have to ask, how do you feel about the streak? Is it frustrating? Because like every match you can have, it can end, right? You can get on a winning path and feel better.
I thought I ended it last year
with Krasi, right?
With Krasi, and then shit just kind of piled up. I think my confidence got a little too much of me, and it was I just kind of fell right back into that rut, right? It's easy to fall into a rut. It's a lot fucking harder to get out of a rut than it is to get into that rut. So it's and every one of these things that I look at, every one of my losses, I made myself look like a fool, but I've learned so much, not so much about my opponent, but more about myself, my preparation leading up to it, what I got to do the days prior to, my mental going into it, what I got to be thinking. So I'm thinking it's, if I lose again, whatever, it is what it is, right? Yeah. But I'm more focused on being in the fucking match and just being part of the fucking game as opposed to just coming out of this losing streak and everything else. I just want to feel like I'm into my own again, right? And I really feel like mentally I'm really starting to come close to there. So it's a matter of once I get there, everything else will just kind of come into play, right? It's not about ending the streak, I gotta win. It's more about finding myself and getting to my own again. Right?
Especially in a match when you are ahead or you're coming back, not to get lost in it. Just like, I've got to win. I'm almost winning. When you see the finish line and you start to panic,
I gotta keep fucking thinking, right? And I had noticed I'd kind of take a step back when I was pulling Kalachenko match. I was processing my thoughts a little bit more, my positions, my movements, as opposed to panicking, just trying to fucking get that fucking win and get it over with, right? Because it's not a fucking sprint, man. It's a fucking marathon, especially when you're going against these motherfuckers at this caliber. You're winning and you're losing in fucking millimeters, right? Like someone goes, you got your fucking ass kicked to you, and it's like, right? Yes and no. Yeah, I got my ass kicked, or I may have lost the match, but it wasn't like a huge, complete fucking, dominant. It was some fine, tiny little fucking mistakes that can make you look like a fucking fool, right? Yeah. So it's more about just getting back into my fucking comfort zone again, man.
This is a tough question, but I have to ask you. So, do you think you sometimes have been thrown to some pretty big or much stronger opponents because of Devon? Because of how have you done with Devon in past? Because every time you fought Devon, it was a match, right? And then if Devon is doing good, automatically you should be doing good. That's what people are thinking.
And I think that too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel that I was completely outclassed. These guys were on a completely different fucking level. I think it was more me beating my fucking self. You know what I mean? Like, I've really, really come to notice that the more confident I am going into a match, the more I make myself look like a fucking ass, right? Like, I need to be positive about myself, but I need to be fucking thinking positive about my fucking opponent as well. I need to be aware of all the dangers and everything that motherfucker can do to me, not just what I can do to him. And I think that's what's kind of failed me. I've only been concentrating on what I can do to them and not thinking so much about what my opponents can do to me. Yeah. And I'm just
thinking of their best day, what they can do.
The more I'm actually fucking starting to think about what they can do to me, the more it scares me, the more my adrenaline's going, the more my nerves are going. I find I always perform way, way better. Like matches where people thought I was going to get my ass completely fucking handed to me, where I thought I wasn't even going to stand a chance. I was right in the fucking things, right? So it's more, fear really works in my favor. Like really works in my favor. So I got to embrace that fear and use it to help fuel me, as opposed to push it to the side and try to be positive. I need to think about all the fucking aspects. The more I do that, the more the fucking hair stands up in the back of my head, the more I get the goosebumps, the more I'm able to dig deeper, the more the adrenaline wants to pump, the more my blood's going. It's always worked better in my favor the more fear I have in me.
I think this would be called lessons through losing. You know, if you win, you would never learn these lessons, right?
You learn. I've said that for decades. You can learn so much more from a loss. Not only about what your opponent's capabilities and where their angles, but more about yourself, right? And I'm really starting to believe that it's not so much studying my opponent as much. It's more about finding myself, right? The more I know myself, the more I know my capabilities and what my opponent can do to me. I find I'm able to make that playing ground a little more level, even if they're way the fuck up here and people think I'm way the fuck down here, right? The matches I go into where everybody thinks I'm going to dominate and I'm 80% favor, I let it get to my head, and I think that's what's fucking me, right? So,
well, I think the great lessons. You should just implement them and be
I should
brave.
be the smartest motherfucker out there right now.
We had these talks with Devin like many times. Like we watched some like have match. Devin was like, he's like, I don't get it. He's like, I just don't get it. But I said to Devin, I'm like, you struggle with Matt more than anyone, just because you're pretty much the same build, and Matt is just more faster, much faster. So he's gonna hit you out of position every time you pull. And he kind of, and this is why, like, he keeps hyping it. I said, but this different arm wrestler, he has to learn those lessons. We had this talk, like, I think, a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we watched the Kalachenko match, and I was like, oh, man. It was so close, and, like, the way...
Kalachenko's no fucking slouch, man.
No,
in my eyes, that dude is...
That was a great match.
Is the biggest up-and-comer, I believe, on the European side right now.
Yeah.
Like, I really do believe as soon as he gets his stamina a little more in check, I think within a couple of years, especially he drops down to that 253-pound class, there ain't going to be too many motherfuckers that are going to be able to...
Do you think he's going to run through Chance? Because Chance is similar to you, different build, different heights, but similar strengths.
Slower. See, I used to be one of the quickest out of the gates all the fucking time.
Yeah.
I was never a bleed puller. I was always an attacker. And in that match, I didn't feel like I could attack. Like, I was trying to attack, and that dude came out of the fucking gates like a cheetah, man. Every single time they said go, I found myself in deep fucking water, just trying to grasp for air, looking for something to hang on to, right? So I'd like to see Chance do well. I've really gained a lot more respect and love for Kalachenko just after pulling him, hanging out with him, having some talks with him and shit. Yeah. So I'm kind of on the fence. I'd like to see both of them do good. Really well. Yeah, I want to see Chance do well because he's from the West, and also like when he first started into the sport, like I didn't help him, but I just kind of planted little seeds in his head about his low hand top row because he's got a natural, phenomenal low hand top row, right? Like it's just his gift. As soon as I seen it right from the beginning, I'm like, dude, there's a few things you got to work on if you really want to excel at this, and this is what you got to do for this move, right? Because that's kind of my bread and butter. I tend to feel anyway. So, but yeah, I think it could be. I don't know how Chance is coming into this. I know Kalachenko said he's feeling good now. Whether he's been able to improve a shit ton since we've pulled, but my head is telling me bad day for Chance.
Ooh.
Bad day for Chance.
Okay.
Especially, I feel if Chance does his typical kind of a low hand top roll, because he's really going to be exposed to that back pressure, that rise that Kalachenko has, and the speed. Like Ron was out hitting fucking Chance the last time they pulled. And Ron ain't fucking quick. Like, Ron is not a fast fucking dude, right? You know, and he's so old to be coming out of the gates quicker than him. I feel it's going to be a bad day for Chance. I really do. I think Kalachenko is going to put him in deep water. And we've noticed Chance comes out really strong out of the gate right at the beginning.
Yeah, and if he takes the wrist, that always is the best choice, right?
Yeah, 100%. But Kalashchenko's wrist is like fucking iron too, right? And his rise and his back pressure. So Chance's stamina is kind of down here. Kalashchenko is kind of down here, but the speed is definitely up there on Kalashchenko, right? So I think if Kalashchenko can put him in deep water right from the beginning and make Chance work a little bit the first round, I think it's just going to continue to snowball and go better and better and better for Kalashchenko as it goes.
Okay.
So
the main event, did you meet up with John and Voivod already, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that? Of course, we
I
all kind of
want
want
to
John.
see John rip that fucking ignorant cunt's fucking arm off. That's all I want to say about that. Rip his fucking arm off, John. Right? So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I missed a bunch of things happening here, but
Just, I consider all of us arm wrestlers, we're all a group as an equal, right? And when someone seems to come into that group and thinks they're way the fuck up here, I want to see somebody bring them way the fuck back down here. And John, that's your job in the next couple days. Bring them back down to fucking reality.
Ooh. So King of Table 8 is looking great. Do you have any you have a ton of fans, like people absolutely love you. Say something to them. Why should they buy the pay-per-view?
Fuck, cause I'm gonna go fucking nuts on this old fucking cunt. I'm gonna fucking put him into I'm not gonna put him into retirement. I really hope Ron comes out of this fresh as a fucking daisy and he can start training, but it's this is going to be the beginning of the fucking comeback for this motherfucker. And I see after this one, if I can dig deep enough and I can pull this one through, I think the next couple, I'm just going to be a snowball effect in a very positive direction for me. So there's been a lot of fucking talk out there. Does Matt even deserve to be there? Matt should fucking retire. And I say, fuck all you motherfuckers. Sit back and fucking watch. I ain't blocking none of you motherfuckers because you're all going to watch this motherfucker succeed when you thought I was way the fuck down in the fucking dirt. So this is the fucking end of a shit streak and the beginning of what you're all about to fucking witness to come for the next couple fucking years. So stay tuned. Core Sports, buy the fucking pay-per-view.
Before we end this.
Oh, I thought we were done.
Yeah, I just.
That would have been a perfect ending.
That would be, yeah. But
Okay,
this will be like there's a match that there's a good chance it will be just a hook war.
Oh, you're thinking about Lachlan and Krasner.
Yeah. Would you be a fan or you want to see one of them top roll, or would you want just?
See, I think Lachlan. Everybody thinks Lachlan's a fucking drive hooker. He jumps inside. I think he's more kind of an over-the-top hooker, but with the way Krasny does drive in, I see it going inside. I don't see anywhere for it to go but inside unless Lachlan really drives that back pressure. But I don't think he's not designed as a top roll. Lachlan, look at that bicep, he's designed to be pulling inside. Yeah. And in my mind, the way I see it, I think that's going to be fucking match of the fucking night.
That's what I want to
100%. Yeah.
I'll be disappointed if it's not, right?
I really do think we're going to see a fucking grinder. I hope Krasny comes in top fucking notch because I want to see it go fucking to sudden death with those guys. I really think it's going to... I believe that's going to be the match. And I'm more excited to see that match than to see John whoop Alexi's ass. I'm more excited for that fucking match. Right?
September 23, King of Table 8, Matt Mask.
Core Sports, get the app and buy the fucking pay-per-view.